بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. آم، أنا سعيدة جدا إن أنا بتكلم في التوك ديت، وشايفة ما شاء الله ناس يعني جمال جدا سواء بيتكلموا أو اللي بيستمعوا. أنا أعرف نفسي سريعا، أنا اسمي نرمين. أنا أصلا معايا بكالوريوس صيدلة من جامعة قناة السويس. وبعد ما خلصت صيدلة اشتغلت فترة قصيرة جدا كصيدلانية، كانت ما حسيتش ان الشغلانة ليا، يعني انها شغلانة عظيمة جدا. فحبيت اعمل ماجستير، فبدأت فيه بالفعل واشتغلت ريسيرش في معهد الأورام في القاهرة. لكن ما كملتش لظروف عائلية، اضطريت ان انا اسافر اليو كي. ومن هنا لما انا جيت عملت دكتوراه في الكانسر ريسيرش في جامعة كوينز يونيفرسيتي في بلفاست. وبعد ما عملت دكتوراه اشتغلت كباحثة في لفترة قصيرة في نفس الجامعة. وأثناء ما كنت شغالة اتعرفت على أكاديميك ستاف هناك، سينيور ليكتشرر في الكمبيوتيشنال بيولوجي. وكانت دي أول مرة ليا أسمع عن أصلا إن في حاجة اسمها كمبيوتيشنال بيولوجي. والظريف إن أنا لما اتكلمت معاه اكتشفت إن هو بيعمل نفس الشغل اللي أنا عملته في الدكتوراه، بس او يعني بنفس المجال، في نفس الافكار، في نفس كل حاجه، بس بالكمبيوتر. ودي كانت اول حاجه حسستني ان الموضوع very interesting. نقلت من كوينز ورحت لندن. ولما رحت هناك الموضوع بالنسبه لي كان يعني التفكير فيه بيزيد. في مجال الداتا ساينس بدات اقرا فيه وكده. وبعدين كنت interested اكتر في مجال الابلكيشنز اوف الداتا ساينس في الهيلث كير. وعملت 3 بروجكت ابلكيشنز في جهة اسمها Innovate UK. الجهة دي جهة حكومية بتدعم كل المشاريع اللي يعني بيبقى فيه كولز كل فترة في فيلدز معينة. والناس بتقدم اللي عندها مشاريع عايزة اختراعات أو مشاريع بحثية أو كده، تكون ليها ابلكيشن حقيقي كمنتج. فقدمت بالتعاون مع جامعة برونيل، وكنت انا اللي كاتبه الابلكيشن. 90% من الابلكيشن الافكار كلها 100% بتاعتي. قدمت 3 مشاريع. المشاريع خدت سكور عالي جدا، لكن ما اتقبلتش. عرفت من المشاريع دي اني لان كل مشروع اسست ب 5 اسيسورز، 5 من الناس الكبار رواد في المجال. عرفت نقط ضعفي وعرفت ايه المفروض الواحد يشتغل عليه. وكانت اول حاجه اعرفها هي اني لازم اتعلم الساينس ده. اخدت كورسات اونلاين عن طريق كورسيرا. وعايزه بقول لكم حاجه، بس طبعا الوقت مش هيكفي دلوقتي. للي عايز يعرف ازاي تاخد الكورسات كلها مجانا عن طريق كورسيرا، انا ممكن اقول لكم ده ازاي بعدين. بس بعد كده قدمت. كان لازم ان انا اعمل ابلكيشن للي اتعلمت ماشين ليرنينج، اتعلمت بايثون، ولا زلت بتعلم الحاجات دي على فكره. وقدمت حاولت تواصلت مع جامعات كتير في اليو كي. في جامعة برونيل أخدتني as a visiting researcher، اشتغلت فترة فيها. وبعدين أثناء ما أنا هناك قدمت على حاجة اسمها STP أو Scientist Training Program. It's very competitive لكنها ممتازة. أنا عارفة إن الوقت ضيق جدا، فمش عارفة هعرف أشرحها ولا لأ، بس ممكن أقولها بعدين. والحمد لله اتقبلت، وانا حاليا شغاله كتريني كلينيكال ساينتست في لانكشير تيتشنج هوسبيتالز تراست، بالتحديد في رويال بريستون هوسبيتال. وفي طبيعه شغلي هو عباره عن اني بشتغل هيلث انفورماتكس، او بمعنى اوضح في اول سنه بتدرب هيلث انفورماتكس. وبشتغل وبدرس في الجامعه ماسترز ديجري في جامعه مانشستر. ومده التدريب، او هي انا كستاف، انا حاليا ستاف يعني زي اي ستاف، بس في صوره تدريب لمده 3 سنين مبدئيا. لمدة الماجستير برضو 3 سنين. بعدها خلال 3 سنين بتمر بامتحانات كتير، بتمر باسسمنتس واساينمنتس تتعمل، بتمر ببروجكتس لازم تتعمل. بعد 3 سنين you will be registered as a clinical scientist في الهيلث انفورماتكس. انا عارفه ان انا اتكلمت كتير عن الموضوع، بس انا حبيت ان انا ادي نبذه عني، عشان ممكن حد يعني يحاول ان هو يفكر ازاي ممكن يطور من نفسه بقدر الامكانيات او المعطيات الموجوده. أنا النهاردة هستأذنكم وهتكلم بالإنجليزي، هيكون أسهل لي، وأنا كمان عايزاكم تسمعوا بالإنجليزي، وعايزاكم هيكون أنا رتبت أصلا البرزنتيشن بالإنجليزي يعني. Today, inshallah, I will talk about main points, which are what is health informatics, and what are the skills and knowledge required, how to get involved, and applications of health informatics in the NHS. First of all, what's health informatics? Health informatics is actually a study or application of methods to improve the management of information, which is the data. So this data is utilized normally by either human or intelligent systems in order to drive decisions. So health informatics combine elements of the healthcare and information technology in order to drive a certain service in the healthcare. It actually helps doctors with their decisions and actions and improves patients' outcome by making better use of information. It also makes more efficient the way patient data and medical knowledge is captured, processed, communicated, and applied. And therefore, it reduces errors, increases communication, and drives efficiency in the healthcare system. It provides a way for knowledge, because knowledge is power. And this knowledge is mainly about patients, diseases, therapies, medicines, and the like to be more easily shared. It also makes the necessary coordination among different clinical teams. We know that when a patient is admitted to a hospital, they normally have to get access to more than one clinical team. So, for example, if they are admitted to a hospital, they would need X-ray, blood tests, pharmaceutical concerns. All these kind of things are in different departments, so they will have to have a system that could coordinate among different departments. Health informatics does that. So if you have to have three ingredients in order to have good health informatics. So you have to have data, you have to have a model or method to utilize this data, to use this data on, and you have to have an expertise, or the person who have the experience in order to use the data and model. And the outcome of this will be quality improvement in public health, and it can be used in research. So health informatics actually is a broad specialization in the NHS. It's not only one thing. You could be working in the information technology, you could be working in library work, analyzing data, or keeping accurate results. Therefore, the health informatics roles are different. If you are going to work as a clinical informatician or clinical informatics, this involves looking at how information and data can help patients and delivery of care. This could include analyzing information about, for example, someone who fall on the ward. If you واحد مرضى بيقعوا لأي سبب من الأسباب في العنابر مثلا، الانسيدنت دي بتتسجل في السيستم. So you can have information بحيث إن إحنا نحسن من مستوى أداء السيفتي في الوردز مثلا أو في المستشفى في الجنرال، أو ممكن it also prevents helping to develop electronic patient records that link healthcare organizations, and هنتكلم عن electronic patient record بالتفصيل، لكن هو معناه electronic patient record هو الريكورد اللي فيه كل information عن البيشنت. It could also have a running system that stores and shares the X-ray scans or ultrasound or MRI scans. So you don't have to be actually, if you are a clinical informatician, you don't have to be a IT programmer. You can be a nurse, you can be a doctor, you can be anyone in clinical team who is very interested in IT. If you are talking about education and training roles, so educators and trainers in health informatics are responsible for making sure that staff are able to use the latest technology so that the benefits it offers for patient care are realized. And there's for every digitalization or every software or anything that's been developed in a department, the staff has to have to get training in order to be able to use this to the best way they can and to get the most out of this facility. For health records and patient administration, you could work as you will mainly work with the data, so you will collate, store, retrieve records used in diagnosis and treatments of patients, and this is very important. And also you could work in information and communication technology, which is ICT technology, where you will be able to, or you'll be working with the ICT infrastructure in the healthcare organization. You will have to develop, manage, and support the ICT infrastructure, including the personal computers, email systems, and mobile communications. So the ICT staff are
دكتور مين؟
نعم أيوة
مين؟
في عطل فني.
دكتور
في عطل فني ولا ايه؟
ممكن حضرتك لو بوست كونكشن في من دقيقتين يعني، فممكن لو حضرتك تعيدي الكلام في اخر دقيقتين.
هو الصوت ولا السكرين هو اللي وقف؟
الاثنين.
طيب ماشي، انا هعيد. طب انا هستوب وهعمل ريشير عشان نيجي.
طيب.
طيب يا رب تكونوا سامعيني كده. أنا هعيد سريعا. Clinical, so you can work as a in clinical informatics, where this involves how the information and data can help in patients to deliver care. This includes analyzing information about anything that's happening in order, for example, hazards أو أي مشاكل تحصل في الهوسبيتال ممكن إحنا نمنعها عن طريق السيستم دوت. You can also provide running system that stores, for example, MRI scans or ultrasounds. أنت مش محتاج إنك تكون IT programmer to work as a clinical informatician. You can be a nurse or a doctor or clinical staff who is very interested in information technology, and you can work as a clinical informatics and get involved. If you are going to work in education and training roles, and this is also health informatics role, where you will be able to educate and train the staff, the clinical staff, and everyone using the digital system. And this is very important because this helps the clinic staff to get the most out of the software or the facility that you're providing as a health informatics team. Working with health records and patient administration is very important. You could work with this through storing, retrieving records used in the diagnosis and treatments of patients. So you are working actually with patient data through the health records. And you could work as an ICT health informatician, working with the infrastructure, the ICT infrastructure of the healthcare organization. So this includes personal computers, email systems, mobile communications, ICT staff can be responsible for all internal and external electronic communication works. So you could work as this, and you will be, of course, for this role, you will need good programming skills. You could work as in the library knowledge information services, and this is actually this doesn't mean that you will be in an actual library, but it could be a digital library. In the hospital, there is intranet, which is the internal communication and internal service that's dedicated for staff, where there is online courses and training for all the staff in different things. There is also knowledge. It provides knowledge and information service. You'll be responsible for this and more. You will have to make sure that crucial evidence and information is available and accessible when and where NHS staff need to use it. And actually, their work supports decisions about patient treatments and care, funding policies, research, and innovation. So it doesn't work in a certain. When you work in this role, you're not focusing on a certain thing, but you could be in different, providing information services in different fields. And as for the project and program management, this is very important because in 2017, NHS has initiated or launched the NHS Digital Transformation Project, and this is actually a huge transformation in the NHS where they are aiming to change the way the NHS service is running into a more digitalized service. And the NHS is investing heavily in digitalization and health informatics projects for improving patient care. So project managers and program managers in health informatics are very important. They work on projects such as delivering digital systems for staff to record, analyze, extract, and use data for the benefit of patients, also improving the way information is shared across healthcare organizations, or developing healthcare applications. So these are, in general, this is a very important role as well. So as you can see, a digital team, a typical digital team within the NHS will have these different roles where staff are working together to deliver digital transformation within every NHS trust. This means that health informaticians work in multidisciplinary teams, and this requires a variety of skills. So what are the skills and knowledge? There are so many skills and knowledge required in health informatics. You would need, of course, programming knowledge, because although programming is not a must if you want to work as a health informatician. However, because of the competency or the competition among the competition in general, when you are applying for a position or a job, you need to have it. So, example of the programming skills that you might need. As mentioned in previous presentations in this forum, you can have Java, you can have C, or you will need Python, and the SQL language is very important. SQL language helps you to retrieve data and manage data from tables, create tables of data sets. So SQL is one of the key skills that you will require if you want to work as a health informatician. So all these kind of languages are very important and useful in the workplace. But it actually depends on the day-to-day responsibilities. Programming knowledge is important if you want to build information systems for healthcare organization in general. So ability to solve a problem is another important skill, because because much of our day-to-day responsibilities will involve problem solving in various settings, and that may come in the form of clinical challenges. So, improving the sharing, for example, if you want to improve the sharing of patient data, you might get conflict or something like difficulties in your work. So you have to be wise and have the ability to solve technical problems and problems in general. Because we work in interdisciplinary team, you would need interpersonal skills, which like interpersonal skills, like such as when you work among clinical teams and there is a conflict, so you have to have a good way of controlling or resolution of conflict. You have to be flexible, you have to have empathy and teamwork. These are important because you will work not only with the multi-disciplinary teams, but you will have to collaborate and to progress in your work, and you won't be able to progress alone. So you have to have good skills and teamwork skills in order to work well as a health informatician. As mentioned before, communication skills are very important. Communication doesn't mean that you talk all the time, but communication means that you listen as well. One of the good and important communication skills is writing emails. And I found that writing email was pretty much challenging when I started in general, when I started my PhD, and I found that this is one of the things that I have to learn: how to write a good email, how to write official emails, how to reply to an email. And one good thing I learned is that when I used to read carefully the emails that's coming to me or being forwarded to me, or if I am copied in an email. So I read the email communications among British people to understand how they communicate together. You can understand English, you can speak in English, but if you to write a good professional email, it takes a while, so you need to work on yourself writing good emails. This is one of the important things that we need to learn. One of the things is the ability to work with healthcare data systems, and actually working closely with healthcare data systems means that you have the ability to work, to develop skills in order to have the ability to utilize the information and data information for the purpose of developing or improvement of the service, the healthcare service. And one important thing about ability to work with healthcare data system is confidentiality. You have to learn that patient data is highly confidential, and you have to make sure that you do not distribute data or share data without permission, or in a way that's not relevant to what you're doing. And finally, respect healthcare values. And there is, in the NHS, there is a very good and important thing that every NHS staff has to understand and actually study, which is the NHS Constitution, Dustur, NHS. And it's a very big constitution, but in general, it revolves around that the patient is in the heart of everything we do. And we have to respect the diversity, the ethnicity, the beliefs, and everything about the patient. So we deal with the patient in compassion, in care, and provide service to patient regardless of their color, their race, their beliefs, their ethnicity, anything, their gender, their sexual orientation. It's not our job to judge people. We are providing the service and care for patients, because every person deserves to have the care and the service, the healthcare service, and access to healthcare system when they need to. So, what are the technical skills? How to gain technical skills? We've talked about what are the technical skills, but how to gain them? And this is actually, I've done this slide based on my personal experience. First of all, you have to have a university certificate. You have to have an university degree. It doesn't have to be in computer science. It doesn't have to be in anything, but you have to have something that would make you in a good position of applying to a job. And the second thing, you don't have to stick to that. I know people who have, who have already entered the data science field while they were musicians or studied music and art and things like that. I don't know them personally, but I've saw their stories online. So you don't have to have a specific university degree for data science. It doesn't have to be like that, but you must have a degree in order to be at the level to apply for a job. If you are a university graduate and you are interested in data science, you need to, first thing I would recommend is to test your ability and whether you will like data science or not. So do online courses. Online courses are very informative. Online courses are not expensive. You can do it anywhere. And like a website like Coursera, it allows you to access online courses from universities, of highly ranked universities while you are at home. Online courses are one of the main steps for me to be able to enter the health informatics field. I've learned a lot, and there is a lot of resources that you can use through online courses. But online courses are not enough. You have to apply what you've learned through training. Try to find. I'm not sure how Egypt is doing this, or if you are a graduate in Egypt, how we would get training in Egypt. But you can volunteer or work as a trainee in any of the relevant services or companies that would help you to translate what you've learned in real life projects. As for the UK, you can apply for scientist training program, and I'm mentioning the scientist training program or STP here because I have seen during my application process and all this kind of things, I have seen people applying from outside the UK and they don't have UK. They're not citizens. They don't have UK nationality, so there might be a way that this program, if you are accepted, this program might give you a visa, work visa to work in the NHS and get this excellent opportunity to get a job in the healthcare sector. So you might give it a try and find out. And I can, because of the time is very limited, I can tell you later if you want any information about this. Just talking about the informatics application or examples in the NHS, I will talk about some examples in the Lancashire Teaching Hospital Trust or the Royal Hospital, as where I work. There are good applications. Example of this is the electronic patient records. And electronic patient records actually is everywhere in every hospital in the UK, and I'm sure in other countries as well in the world. You will find in Europe, in America, in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia. It's not an invention, but it's good to have it in the hospital because it helps with the delivery of the best healthcare. What does electronic health record mean? It's actually the doctor and the team of the healthcare professional normally keep records about the patient's health and any treatment and care they receive from the NHS. So these records would actually be, they will be stored and help to make sure that patients receive the best possible care. The records may include basic details about the patient, such as, I just want to show you, this is electronic patient record. This is an example of it. I'm not allowed to share a screenshot of a real electronic patient record where data are shown for patients, but this is one of the things for demonstration. So in this, there will be the patient basic details, name, age, gender, address, and date of birth, of course, and also details of any ongoing care. If they receive, for example, if they have blood tests, if they have done, if they have been hospitalized before, if they are diabetic, if they have cancer. Anything will be recorded in their electronic record, and And if there is any information about past hospital appointments and admissions, it will be stored there. This actually is very useful for doctors and nurses to keep track of every patient coming into the hospital. What happens is that in the Lancashire Teaching Hospital, there is this trolley is called EPMA trolley. The nurse would go do the ward round, and she has this trolley with the computer in it, and she scans the barcode in the patient's wrist. And when the barcode is scanned, their electronic patient record is opened, and from there she will be or he will be able to access the what this patient requires at the minute. Also, the nurse will. This is called Mindray software vital signs device, which is used to get all the measurements, blood pressure, pulse, anything about these vital signs, and it's automatically will be recorded into the same patient's electronic health records. So no way these records there will be any fault or like manual entering the details might risk any problems or errors in the electronic patient record, while this is done and saves a lot of time as well. There is one thing about it as well is the electronic prescription. Electronic prescription is very important because before having the electronic prescribing, there used to be handwriting on prescriptions and charts. There used to be incomplete information being recorded on an order. So there used to be inappropriate ordering of information as well in the prescription. And this has led to errors in dispensing the medicine, and also error in calculation of specific medicine doses. And this has results to the cost of medication incidence nationally that have been calculated to reach £750 million. So this has been really a great problem. While now in the current system, there has been a good, like everything is automated, everything is electronic recording of medicine administration, full record of all medicines prescribed and administered held within the electronic patient record. And this has actually been really well. It's been they found that 25% reduction of serious incidents relating to unrecorded patients and medications were done. So 25% quarter the problems or the incidence of wrong medication prescription or dispensing has been reduced by this system, which is excellent. So this is how it looks in general. Another application for the in the health informatics in the NHS is a digital program delivery that the digital program delivery team has done, which is the occupational therapy and physiotherapy in patient digital workflow. In the occupational therapy or physiotherapy, العلاج الطبيعي, everything's been digitalized now in terms of monitoring or managing the workflow there in the department. So when you start here, the doctor starts the shift. So they see the patients, and the doctor would go and identify who requires care and how it's going to be done. Then the doctor would share this into the Quadramet, which is the system that holds electronic patient records and electronic prescription and everything about the patient. So they would just refer this, put this as an input in the inpatient referral order, and then it will be also shared in this in the computer, in the system for every clinical staff, nurses, doctors, technicians to access. And from this, it will be identified, patients will be identified who require certain treatment or care. So they will be identified and they will access the treatment or care they require. Then further appointments, if they require any appointments, or discharge if they do not need anything anymore, will be completed on Quadramit as well, which is the system that carries all the information. And then again, it will be displayed on this. And there is a screen which has a software called ClickView, and this shows this is like a dashboard, shows the activity and data for the ward or for the department, how many people require treatment, how many people got discharged, and things like that. This has been really useful in the department. It's one of the things that has been digitalized in our hospital. Another application, which is Attend Anywhere, because of the COVID-19 problems, we are trying to minimize the contact of patients with the clinical staff. So there has been, the way it works in the UK is that when someone has a problem, healthcare problem, so they have to, the first one to go to is the GP. And then from there, the GP would evaluate the problem. If they think that it needs to be looked at by a consultant, then they will have a referral to a consultant where they will have an appointment with the doctor in the hospital. Because of the COVID-19, we're trying to not to stop the appointments, although it has stopped in March, but it returned back, I believe, in June or something. But because we don't have to stop this appointment, so they have done, it's like, like online meeting between the doctor and the patient. And this is how it looks. This is the access view for patients. So if you are a patient, you will see like this, and then you can click and change and choose which department you have appointment with. So if you choose core therapy, so you will first of all test the call, just make sure that connection speed is okay. And then you can start the call, enter your details, and then accept, and then start the call. This is actually the clinician access view. So this is how the doctor or the nurse would access patients. So they can see, if you can see here, these are waiting area for all departments, or many of the departments. It should be for all, because if we scroll down, it will show all the departments in the hospital. So you will be able to access. Of course, this is also for demonstration only, because this is not the real number. Normally, it's a lot higher than this number. So you will be able to see how many people are on the waiting list, how many people are being seen in every single department, and also you will be able to access. You'll be able to access further chart of everything and the details of the patients. And a call will start. And when the call starts, I didn't get the picture for this, but a call will start between the doctor and the patient. It's a video call where they will be able to communicate, and he is being seen for further treatment if they require any. Another thing that I would like to talk about, which is called Nerve Center. And Nerve Center is a mobile software used in all inpatient units that allows nurses and doctors to do clinical assessments. So this has replaced many paper-based forms, which used to be the case. So a doctor would have a paper زي ملف كده file where he write handwriting every single note about the patient while they're doing the word round. This has been replaced by a mobile software, and in the same time it helps because blood, for example, measurements such as blood and pulse measurements are recorded in real time, allowing electronic reminders to prompt the staff of the next measurement is due. So there will be ongoing alarm for nurses. This patient requires, for example, blood and pulse measurement. This person requires measuring temperature. This person requires antibiotics. This person requires. So there will be always electronic reminder that prompts the staff of the next measurements for every person. And it also allows the staff to see trends of these measurements over time, and will be able to analyze the patient, how the patient in generally his health or her health is progressing, whether they are moving well or whether they are not. And this has been one of the good things as well. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that I have made some positive thing to you.